Hi and hello, welcome to online biology classes because of Ideal Others Educational Institution and the YOR. So today we are going to be seeing about the topic of reproduction in plants and animals for the 10th Science Biological Sciences unit number 17. I am Sadish Kumar going to be take down this lesson. So the reproduction in plants and animals, we know very well why the organisms are reproducing. So reproducing is the one of the basic fundamental process. So all the organisms are formed in the world because of three reasons. So one is called food, second one is called surveillance, and third one is they are producing their own progeny or the offspring for the world. There is no reproduction, there is no organism is available on the world after the certain generation or after certain periods. So the reproduction which is play the vital role for various types of organism with various method. In the plants they have some kind of different methods of reproduction, and animals, so they are starts from the unicellular organism to the multicellular organism. They are having a different kinds of reproduction method. So based on the reproduction, the primitive organism they are done the reproduction with the simple manner, and the higher organism they are done the method of reproduction with different methods. So the reproduction in the plants and animals. So we are first of all we are going to be seen about a reproduction in the plants. It is an introduction point of the plant reproduction. Today we are going to be seen about only two different types of reproduction in the plants. One is called vegetative reproduction. Another one is called asexual reproduction. So from this vegetative reproduction, the organism they cannot be producing a flower from the existing body cell itself. They are producing their own offspring. That is called vegetative propagation. And asexual reproduction, that means the organism like a fungi and a bacteria, they are going to be produce a spore in the form of gamete, is called an asexual method of reproduction. Right. So from this diagrammatic representation which is explained, the reproduction in plants, they are classified into three types. Number one, asexual reproduction. Number two, vegetative reproduction. And number three is called sexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction, that means the organism which is produced only in the spore. The spores are in the form of minute, and they are migrated easily by means of wind, water, insect, by means of abiotic and biotic factors. And the vegetative propagation which is involved by the two different method. One is called the existing plant and another one is from the primitive organism. The plants, the vegetative reproductive parts are leaves, stem, root and bulbs. And by the same time, the primitive type of organism such as the unicellular organism like amoeba and bacteria, they are done with the four different types of vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction. Number one, fission. Number two, budding. Number three, regeneration. And number four is a fragmentation. And by means of the sexual reproduction which is involved by the two different major process. One is called pollination and another one is called fertilization. The pollinations are two types. One is called self-pollination, another one is called cross-pollination. And fertilization which is involved by the syngamy, that is called zygote formation, and another one is called double fertilization. Then according to this continuation, the living organism cannot be survived for an indefined period of earth. That means the organism cannot be living for the long time. They are having some kind of lifespan. Within the lifespan, the organism is died. But during this time, they are going to be produced 4 times, 5 times or 10 times. They are increasing their own generation. The next point, all living organisms have the ability to produce more of its own kind by the process is called reproduction, which means all the organism they are having a ability to reproduce. Such kind of cases are exception because of the gene changes or sudden heritable changes takes place on the reproductive cell, that is called a mutation. Such kind of organism they are unable to reproduce. Then all other organism they have the ability to produce their own kind. That means, for example, the cow which was produced into their own offspring, the human being which is produced into their own offspring, And next one, the reproduction is the unfolding of the life form where a new individuals are formed. That means the reproduction. For example, we are seeing the plant reproduction. The mango tree which was produced with new mango seedling. So they cannot be produced with coconut or banana. Then it ensures the community and the survival of the species. So it is a community. That means a huge population and surveillance. They have the ability to survive. For example, we are seeing some of the plant which is available on one particular region or particular hill station or particular soil condition. They cannot be survived with other places. That is called survival of the species. And this process is preserve an individual species, and it is called self-replication. That means each and every type of organism, they are adapted with a particular kind of environmental condition, and from that locality it is going to be growing. The time required for reproduce also varies from organism to organism. We know very well the small organism, the reproductive period of the rabbit is 3 months. The reproductive period of human being is 9 months. According to that, all the organism, they have some kind of reproductive times. And you may be find a great variation in the periods of reproduction yeast, bacteria, rat, cow, elephant and human being. So in this lesson, we are going to be learn about various periods of time for the reproduction in plants and animals. And first one, so in sexual reproduction of these offspring are produced by means of the union of male and female gametes. That means I already told you the sexual reproduction which is involved with two type of gamete. One is called male and another one is called female. So the male which is produced by the sperm cell as well as the female is produced by the egg cell. So only the sexual reproduction, the involvement of two gamete, and by the same time in the plants they have the bisexual character. That means both male and female characters are available in the same organism or same flower, right? So the male and female gametes is contain the genetic material or gene present in the chromosome which transmit the characteristic traits in this next generation. So we are going to be seeing how the chromosomes are transmitted from the parent organism to the progeny or the offspring from the next lesson, heredity, unit number 18. We are seeing very elaborately. From here, we can see some kind of basic fundamental. For example, male, we are having a 46 chromosome, 23 pair of chromosome from the male and 23 chromosome from the female. So, which is transmitted, 50% of character is transmitted from the father and 50% of character is transmitted from the mother, which is the dominant character, which is exposed onto the progeny. So that is the next generation. And let us know about the types and the process of asexual and sexual reproduction in the plant. From this lesson, we are going to be seeing about how the asexual reproduction is going on and how the sexual reproduction takes place on the plants. And first one, we are going to be seeing reproduction in the plants. There are three types of reproduction in the plants. So I already told you from the diagrammatic representation, the plant which consists of three type of reproduction. One is called vegetative, the ability of organism produce their own offspring from the existing body parts. That means from their own body itself they are producing their own offspring by means of root or by means of stem or by means of leaf. That is called a vegetative reproduction. And asexual reproduction, that means the organism is going to be produced with spores. By means of spores they are producing a offspring. That is called a asexual method of reproduction. And sexual method of reproduction, the involvement of two gamete. After the involvement of two gamete, the fusion and fertilization, they are produced with their own offspring. That is called a sexual method of reproduction. And the vegetative reproduction, this is the type of new plantlets are formed from the vegetative or somatic cell buds or the organ of the plant. That means either any type of the somatic cell. Somatic cell means body cell. Somatic cell means body cell. The body cell which is located on the plant, they are going to be multiplied and they are detached from the mother plant and they are become into the new individual. That is called vegetative reproduction. And the vegetative propagation, which is in the form of four regions. Number one is a leaf and stems, root and buds. So we are seeing from the leaf, bryophyllum, stem by means of onion and garlic, root from the carrot and beetroots, and buds we are in the form of rose plant. And next one, the vegetative part of the plant, root, stem, leaf or bud, get detached from the parent body and grow into the independent daughter cell. Independent, that means new individual. They are not depending upon the parents. They are not depending upon the parents. They are not depending upon the mother plant. So that is called independent. Dependent means they are depending. They are always depending upon the food, water and all other things. So independent means they are selfly. Their plants are autotrophic organism. They are going to be produce their own food materials in the presence of sunlight, water, chlorophyll and carbon dioxide. They are done in the biochemical process in the form of photosynthesis. They are prepare their own food materials. And it has the only a mitotic division. No gamete fusion or daughter plant is genetically similar into the parent cell plant. So that means it is having only a mitotic cell division. It is not having in the meiotic cell division. The meiotic cell division is takes place on the reproductive part. The mitotic cell division is takes place on the mitotic cell division is takes place on only in the body cell. Then it is similar into the parent plant. It is similar into the parent plant. And first one, the leaves, we know very well the bryophyllum, the small plant grow in the leaf nodes. That means in Tamil it is called Kattipotal Kuttipodum, the bryophyllum plant. So the mature bryophyllum plant, all the leaf margin is produced by the young buds. The buds they are detached from the mother plant and they are grow with the new individual. From that there is no death in the parent plant. And next one, the stem, we are known very well, the strawberry, the aerial weak stems touch into this ground and give into the adventurous root and buds. That means the strawberry and guava plant, then hibiscus rosa sinensis, the hibiscus flower, sembarati. So such a kind of plant, they are reproduced by means of stem, and when the connection with the parent plant it is broken and offspring become the independent. So when that in Tamil பதியம் போடுறது அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம் இல்லைங்களா, நம்ம பார்த்தீங்கன்னா மல்லிகைப்பூலாம் சொல்லுவோம் பதியம் போடுறதுன்னு சொல்றோம் இல்லைங்களா, அதுதான் என்ன சொல்றாங்க இங்க ஸ்டெம் மூலயமா வளர்றது அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஸோ ஆஃப்டர் த மெச்சுரைசேஷன் வாட் இட் வில் பி ஹேப்பன், இட் இஸ் டிட்டாச்டு ஃப்ரம் த மதர் பிளான்ட். It is detached from the mother plant and become into the new individual. And the root, the tuberous root in the asparagus and sweet potato can used in the vegetative propagation. From that we are seen in this asparagus, it is a kind of ferns, அழகு தாவரங்கள். And sweet potato, சக்கரவள்ளி கிழங்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம். The root we can cut into the small pieces. All the pieces are grown into the new individual and they are produced with numerous quantity of fruits. And the bulbs, the sum of the plants, the flower bud is modified in the glows of bulb which is called and bulbs, which can be fall in this ground and they grow the new plantlet. Example is a agave. சோத்து கத்தாழைன்னு சொல்றோம், சீம கத்தாழை அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்களா, அதுக்கு பேர் தானாங்க agave அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. And the next method that is called fragmentation. That means துண்டாதல். The filamentous algae, the breaking of the filament into the many fragments is called fragmentation. That means which is commonly available in all type of algae. The filamentous algae, unicellular algae, it is a best example is a Spirogyra. So it is a thin ribbon like structure. We can cut into many pieces. So all the pieces are developed into the new individual. That is called fragmentation. And each fragment having at least one cell, if they have the one cell, may give rise into the new filament of algae by the cell division. Example Spirogyra. It's a one mark question. So if the new one cell is available, the cell which consists of all cell organelle and nucleus, so it is going to be multiplied and by means of multiplication which was produced with the new individual. And the fission, it is a type of the parent cell get divided into two daughter cell, each cell developed into a new adult organism. Example amoeba fission, that is called pilathal, ரெண்டா உடையிறது. So this is the diagrammatic representation. We are seeing that this is the parent amoeba, then which is going to be elongated. That means the nucleus is going to be elongated, and development of glues. That means a septum, a false septum, which is developed, and the nucleus and cytoplasms are going to be divided. So nucleus and cytoplasms are going to be divided, and it is developed into two new daughter cells. The daughter cells are similar to the parent cell, which is in the form of binary fission. Bi means two, fission means pilatal. So it is going to be divided into two organisms. And the budding மொட்டு விடுதல் அதான் சொல்றோம் budding அப்படிங்கிறோம். The formation of daughter individual from the small projection, the bud arising on the parent body is called budding. Example, yeast. In the yeast plant, a new individual is produced by means of buds, small buds. So this is the diagrammatic representation, the nucleus and parent cell of the yeast. And the second one, you are forming a bud, where it is forming from the neck region, the formation of the bud, and the bud which is covered with the cytoplasm. We know very well the nucleus is surrounded with the cytoplasm, and the matured one, they are produced with the numerous quantity of buds, and each bud is developed into new individual cell. And the regeneration, so it is a ability of the last of the body part individual organism give rise to the whole new organism is called regeneration. The small example, பள்ளி பார்த்திருப்போம், lizard, the tail is cut, again the tail it was grown. Like that, some of the organism, the degenerated or detached part is going to become a new individual. That is called regeneration. Then this is the example, it takes place on the specialized mass of cell, that is an unspecialized mass of cell, that is a hydra and planaria. The single organism get divided, that means the two organism, the two half is developed into a new organism. And next one, the asexual method of reproduction, the reproduction of an offspring by a single parent plant. Reproduction of offspring by a single parent without the formation and fusion of gamete is called asexual reproduction. That means there is no formation of vegetative and there is no formation of sexual cells without formation of gamete and fusion. There is no gamete, there is no male plant and female plant, there is no egg cell and there is no sperm cell, only the spores. By means of spores the organism is reproduced. That is called asexual reproduction. And this is the diagrammatic representation of asexual reproduction, how the organism is going to be divided. And it involves only a mitotic cell division and meiosis does not occur. That means only a mitotic cell division, the body cells are going to be divided. The offspring produced by the asexual reproduction are not only identical to parents but also exact copy of their parents. So it is not identical, and by the same time it is a exact similar to the parents. So we are seeing the best example, mushroom. They are not exactly similar but they are almost similar to the parent plant. How the one mushroom is available, look like all the mushrooms are available but the size are varied, the morphological characters are varied. And next one, asexual reproduction occurs by the spore formation. So it is a very important one more question. The asexual reproduction which takes place by the process of spore formation. Spores, it is a minute substance which is spread over around this air and around this atmosphere. Wherever it is displaced in the soil, due to these such kind of the environmental biotic and abiotic factor, only the favorable condition they are start emerged and developed into the new organism. This is the most common method of asexual reproduction in the fungi and bacteria. It takes place on the primitive type. We know very well, algae, fungi, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm and angiosperm. According to that, which takes place on the fungi, and bacteria, they are done the reproduction with the process of asexual reproduction. And this is the diagrammatic representation how the the bacteria is going to be reproduced, how the bacteria is going to be reproduced. So this is the parent bacteria which is going to be developed. And second stage, due to the division of the nucleus, due to the divisions of the nucleus, the nucleus is undergo for development and which is divided into two daughter cell, and the third one, the nucleus or cytoplasms are divided, and by means of the cytokinesis process. We are already studied in the 9th standard syllabus what is cytokinesis. Due to or the presence of the nucleus, the cytoplasms are going to be divided, is called an cytokinesis. The cytokinesis process takes place, the nucleus are separated and the cytoplasm is going to be divided into two, the formation of two identical daughter cell, that is called asexual reproduction. And next one, so during the spore formation, a structure is called a sporogonium developed by the fungal hyphae. So during the time of that spore formation, they are producing a sporogonium. Why we are saying that is sporogonium? They are stored with more quantity of spores. So the structure is called an sporogonium. Then fungal hyphae. The hyphae is nothing but it is undifferentiated form of roots. It is undifferentiated in the form of roots. Just we can pick up or pull out the mushroom, we cannot be find out the root, only the stalk are present. From the bottom side there will be a small thin hair like structure, is called fungal hyphae. And the sporogonium and each nucleus with a small amount of cytoplasm developed into the spore. So during the unfavorable condition they are producing the spore, during the favorable condition the spores are developed into the new individual. So their presence of during that interval time only they are maintain the lifespan, so they have the less quantity of cytoplasm inside of the spore, and the spores are liberated and they are developed into the new hypha after reaching the ground or substratum. So when the hypha is formed, so the spore it is detached or placed in any kind of ground or any kind of the substratum. Substratum is nothing but it is a growing medium or growth medium. The medium it consists of all kinds of growth requirement, that is called nutrition and surveillance, all kinds of nutrient substance, that is called a substratum. And thank you very much. So up to this I was completed the vegetative reproduction and sexual reproduction. From next class we are going to be vegetative reproduction and asexual reproduction. From next class we are going to be seeing with the sexual reproduction of plant, how the fertilization process is going on, how pollination is going on, what are the advantages and disadvantages. We are going to be seeing the classes. So next class we are seeing the reproduction in plants. So thank you very much.